Okay, I think I'm doing it. I'm going to check on my phone to make sure I'm doing it. It's working. I think it's working. Okay, so I figured that out. Way to go, right on. I don't really like this blurred background thing that's happening because I'm such a hand talker, but we'll make it work for today because I'm not going to waste any more time. Okay. I think I should be able to then share this when it comes time. I should have tried to figure out this out before, but okay, so February 21st, 2023. What is up? Tuesday training. I just wanted to go through a few things ahead of time here. So we have a few spots left at the discounted price for the Becoming Alpha program. So currently I have 40% off the program, which launches on March 6th. So on March 6th, the price will go up to regular pricing. See, look at this. Okay, sorry. I just want to give like a little brief overview for anyone that doesn't know what's up. I'm going to start posting a lot more about it here in the next 2 weeks leading up to the program launch. I am so excited. This is my life's work thus far in my 32 years. This is everything that I have gone through, learned about, educated on. It is all in one concise program. So the program is 13 weeks long, and through the entire thing, you have weekly group sessions, weekly coaching, direct access to me via messaging, and then there's also a private mastermind group for any of the women that are in the program. And we're going to cover 3 modules. The entirety of it is online and it's at your own pace, so we can work through things as they come up. You get, with each module, you get a one-on-one session with me where we do a full hypnosis regression session. And so the first module we go through and we are just working on understanding and releasing pain. Inside that module, I share how to understand the connection between your past and your current state to be able to fully heal any childhood wounds, any trauma, and upgrade your life. Then we move into self-worth, which is what we're kind of going to touch on today. But in a self-worth module, you really learn how to nourish your body and transform yourself into the radiant, beautiful goddess that you were always meant to be, and to create a deep interconnection with your mind, body, and soul. That also helps to, in that module, we also work on releasing trauma that is stored in the body. In the third module, after we've done all the nitty-gritty work, we go into taking back your power. So somewhere along the line, you were taught to believe that you're not good enough, that your dreams and goals are unattainable. But in this pillar, you get to ignite the powerful woman you are and begin to manifest your desires into reality by becoming alpha. And that is what the program is called, Becoming Alpha. So in the program, you get access to all the replays if you can't catch anything live. We go through additional healing modalities that are just for the program that you wouldn't get access to in the regular Alpha Alliance group, in the group that we're in now. I know a lot of us struggle with the way the world is, and payment plans are available for this. So we go through a one-on-one call and see if you're a good fit to work with me, and we can discuss what the payment plans are, what the options are. I wanted this program to be feasible and accessible to anyone who is ready to make the change in her life, to lead you through healing. So I did my best to make it accessible and as affordable as possible. So speaking of cost, the cost of my one-on-one coaching that I do now, where we do one-on-one hypnosis, and you get the 21 days of coaching, that is going to change in March when the program launches. So if you are interested in having a one-on-one with me, now is the time. Now is the time. If you are thinking you want to do a one-on-one session with me, that price will change come March. So let's book you in for a call and we can get working on that. One next thing, I wanted to give a huge shout out and a thank you to my girl, Lexi Adam. She jumped in last week while I was away, and it was really cool to go back and watch and see her bring a different perspective to self-love than we're used to in the Alpha Alliance. Here we really work with the subconscious, and Lexi's a life coach, and she just put a really different spin on the subject, and I think she killed it. So thank you, Miss Lexi, for doing that for me and helping me out last week. So today, as usual, about 20 minutes for Tuesday training. And as always, you can grab the replay in the guide section. So we're still in February and we're on self-love and self-worth. We're talking about this week still because I feel it is such a layered and deep-seated part of us as women and something we really need to look at during our healing journey. Like, what are the things you struggle to love about yourself? Is it your hair, your weight, your freckles, the scar on your knee from when you wiped out as a kid on your bike? Or is it deeper stuff? Is it the way you giggle, the way you laugh, the way you snort when you laugh? Because that's something I do. Is it the way you react to certain social situations? Is it your traumas? Is it your triggers? Whatever it is, we all have something about ourselves that we struggle to love. And the thing we need to ask ourselves is, why do these thoughts exist in the first place? Where did this feeling or belief about myself come from? For a lot of us as little girls, we grew up with moms who were constantly on fad diets. Or, I'll always go back to that image in my mom's bathroom of the Woman's World magazine. That's always my reconnection to the past, and where a lot of this began was it always had the fad diet on the front. There was always some miracle way that you were going to make a soup and you were going to lose 10 pounds in 7 days. There was always some sort of shame on the front, some sort of celebrity being chastised for looking a certain way, gaining too much weight, looking too old, all those things. They created this belief that women need to look a certain way to be accepted. And it goes back to as little girls, we idolize our moms. If our moms had that magazine, well, then obviously that meant something, right? We want to be just like them. Our moms are the first image of femininity that we create. We want to wear their heels around the house. We want to put their dresses on. We want to wear their jewelry. We want to rock around the house and be just like mom. And then as we grow, when we start to see these things, there's some negative self-talk. Maybe, mommy, you look so nice today. I love your dress, mommy. And then you're met with, oh, this dress, I hate this dress. It makes you look fat. All of those negative responsive to compliments. And then we start to believe that that's how, when you receive a compliment, that those deep-seated beliefs, that's why we start to block them. Well, anytime I tried to compliment my mom on how she looked or how she was so beautiful and this person that I idolized, Skylar's home. Anytime we start to, get compliments ourselves as adults, we meet it with a block. Well, if, that's how I was met with these compliments. And as children, we carry all of those things into our adult lives. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. I have notes that will help. Yeah, so that's what it's saying. So now that we're adults and people compliment us, it makes us uncomfortable and we don't believe that about ourselves. So if we don't believe that about ourselves, how can someone else believe that about us? And it all stems back to those core beliefs that were instilled in us as children. Not to mention, as we become women, as we hit puberty and our body starts to change, it is drilled into us. Act like a lady. Cross your legs, be a certain way. Don't wear that. Don't show too much skin because it'll give boys mixed signals. We get mixed signals. As we grow, we're being told over here on one side to be that lady, to act a certain way, to look a certain way, to, some people have experienced that, well, if you do that, then you're asking for it. That's a deep one for me. It's, well, you showed your boobs or you showed your legs or you showed your arms, so you were asking for it. But then we're being sold in the media to feel sexy and to look sexy. And I mean, remember the cover of Cosmo as a kid, or we always had Cosmos. That was the thing when I was in high school. We all had Cosmos, and you know, the cover was some skinny, beautiful woman, some that we were meant to look like, you know, and then on the side, 5 ways to give a good blowjob, but you can't be a lady and have sexuality. So there's all these conflicting beliefs. And so as women, we start to treat ourselves, we live in this inner turmoil and this inner conflict, and who we're supposed to be, because who we really are at the core of our beings has been taken away from us in so many ways. We haven't been able to express those things or even understand who we are at the core without all of the outside influence. Lots of times we don't have the opportunity to discover what makes us happy or what makes us feel beautiful or what makes us feel empowered. We aren't given the space to do that. So I'm going to share with you a video that has exactly to do with this topic, and it's put together perfectly, and it invokes some emotion, and it invokes some emotion in me, and I wanted to share it with you guys while we are on this topic. So I'm going to attempt to do that, I think. Go. I may have too many things open. This one. Okay. Okay, so you should be able to see this now.
Dressed down. You look like you've let yourself go.
Magazine.
Don't be too thin. Eat some. Go on. Maybe they said, remove your body. Reach this, reach that. Marks, plump your lips, Botox your wrinkles, lift your face. Look natural. Bronze. Don't get me. Don't get blown. Say yes. Don't say no. Just be a lady.
I hope that came through okay. So yeah, that video, everything in that video, I hope that came through all right and everyone was able to see it. But it It sums up exactly what this topic is. It's put together very well. It sums up what we've been taught, what has been ingrained in us from the media, from family, from our parents, from our peers, all of it. All of that has created these deep-seated beliefs that we can't be ourselves. And who is ourselves? We don't even know, because there's so much information thrown at us that we haven't had the time or the space to make those decisions for ourselves, decide what is that we love, and decide what makes us feel good and what makes us feel beautiful and how we want to act and what fills our cups. So of course, looking at that video, of course, women have body issues. Of course, we have all these mental health problems around our self-worth and around our self-image, because we don't know what the right thing to do is, because we've been taught that what we want at the core of who we are, it is not okay. That is what has been taught to us since we were able to take in any of this information. So it's our job now as women in healing, and women who are going through this path on this journey to heal ourselves and find the interconnection with who we want to be, who we are at the core. It's our job to do the work. And part of the work is finding out why we made these beliefs in the first place. So going back to the exact moment in time when the belief was created and changing the way we see it. Understanding is power. I say this all the time. Understanding is power. And when we can understand why we started to believe these negative things about ourselves, we can change it. And that's what I'm teaching. These are the tools that we are using so that we can go back and change the way we emotionally respond to those deep-seated beliefs. So for me, when I started to discover why I had such a self-sabotaging and self-loathing image of myself, like I just didn't love me. I just didn't love me at all. It was plain and simple. A lot of it did come from being sexually abused as a child, because I felt dirty and gross, and that it somehow made me lesser than, that I wouldn't be worthy of being loved and worthy of having the choice to be intimate. Some of it stemmed from my parents' divorce, and that I felt they were both too busy fighting with each other to give me any sort of positive attention. And when they started really fighting, my biological dad would call my mom to the fucking dirt. He said everything terrible about her possible in front of me and to me. And that gave me this belief that half of who I am, half of the DNA I have from my mother, was all of those things. So I began to believe that all those terrible things he had said about my mom in my teenage years and into my adult life, all of those things added up. And I started believing, for one, that was all true. Half of me is her. So if he feels that way about her, or if that's true about her, that must be true about me, or at least half of me. So I took that into my adult life, and all of those things added up, and I started to look for any semblance of love, any semblance of positive reinforcement. If a boy told me I was pretty, he would get whatever he wanted from me, because he believed that. So I would cling to this belief. I would just soak up that, well, if he thinks that about me, I'm gonna soak that up, and I'm gonna try to, whatever you need to give me that, because I can't believe it on my own. So I will do whatever it is that you need me to do so that I can feel that way, which doesn't have any longevity in it. And that is where the self-sabotage came from, because my identity wasn't my own. It was whatever someone else had or said to me in the moment, which was true for the negative side as well. But that's a different story for another time. So when I went into my healing journey and I started to dig into my subconscious and realize how all of those things were connected and how layered it was, I was able to start peeling back those layers and discovering this is why really deep down I can't love myself. There was no space for me to love me. And when I got into the healing journey, I created that space. I started to understand that it wasn't what my dad said about my mom or how my mom saw herself, or it wasn't the attention from the boys in high school and in my early 20s. It was none of that. It was what's in here, what was inside me. And I got to sit with those pieces of me, the pieces of me that I do love, and the things, and started focusing on those things. And so when I started focusing on pieces of me and healing the pieces of me that I didn't love, understanding them and giving them space and giving myself forgiveness, understanding shame and ego and all of those things, and then focusing on the things that I do love about myself, they started to seep into the rest of my life. So I did all of that healing and I looked at all of those pieces, and now I can look in the mirror and be like, God, I love you. Like, if you can take a step back and look at what you've gone through in your life. Like, I can look at myself now and say, you are so strong. You survived so much shit that would have crumbled most people. And like, look how beautiful you are. Look at the way your eyes shimmer with life. You have a beautiful soul. And now being able to work with women like you women in the alpha, it fills me up and it makes me feel even more beautiful because I get to share what's inside me. I get to share my soul with all of you. And that has so much value to me. It's my only goal to be able to give that back to each and every one of the women in the Alpha Alliance. And each of you women wouldn't even be here if there wasn't something in you that is wanting and ready to change. You are here for a reason. And I'm so blessed to be able to share these things, share the struggle and share what I've come through and all of the teachings and the education and my schooling, and put it all together to help you move forward in the same progression. And maybe you have gone through the same pain for the same length of time, or you haven't gone through the same things. Or maybe you've been going through it longer. Either way, now is the time to take back your power and find out who you are inside and fall in love with that woman because she's fucking amazing. So I don't want you to think that what I'm saying here is that doing your hair or your makeup or your lashes or taking care of your body and exercising and all of those things. I'm not saying that that isn't important. It is important. It's so important. If what you are doing on the outside makes you love yourself a little more, than 100,000% do it. Do all of the things. We go through a big portion of that in the program, and is taking care of your femininity. But what I'm saying today is you have to do that stuff because you want to, because it makes you feel good, not because someone else is telling you to, not because you think it makes you have more value or your value is on the surface. Your value is what is on the inside, who you are at the core, and what's in your soul, and what you have to offer this world. We all came into this world with a God-given, for me, it's God-given, you want to say universe, whatever your higher power is, you have a purpose on this planet. And it is your duty and it is your job to discover what that is and then give it back to the world. And you cannot do that without the healing. So I have created a couple journal prompts based around this, around self-love. I'm kind of going over a little bit today, but there is so much in you to give this world, and you have to see it first. This self-love, self-worth journey is very layered, like I've said today. There's so much to it. And for every one of us, it looks a little bit different. I would love to be able to help you on that journey. So as always, call link is under the video. Please reach out. Please book a call with me. It's free. It takes up an hour of your time and it might just change your life. I know that the things that I am teaching and the things that I've put together changed mine so drastically. When I look back at pictures from 5 years ago compared to now, I can see it in my face. I see it in my eyes. See how sad and dead and lost I was. And now I look at pictures and my smile's real. It's not forced. I feel so good in my soul and I feel so lit up when I get to help you women figure that out. Figure out what it is that lights your soul on fire. That is what I'm here to do. So thank you for joining me today. I will see you next Tuesday. So much love. Bye.